What if some of the things you do within the first hour after waking are quietly working against your health? Not because mornings are magical, and not because you need a complicated 5 a.m. routine. The problem is much simpler. Some everyday morning habits can influence your sleep-wake rhythm, physical activity, diet, hydration, cardiovascular health, and even your teeth. And one habit on this list sounds so healthy that most people would never suspect they could be doing it at the wrong time. Before we begin, understand something important. This video is not going to tell you that you must drink lemon water at exactly 6 a.m., exercise before sunrise, or eat one particular superfood. Health does not work that way. Instead, we are separating habits supported by reasonable health evidence from morning routine myths that have been repeated so often that people assume they must be true. And stay with me until habit number 6, because something as simple as when you brush your teeth can matter more than you might expect.
But your first morning mistake may actually begin before the morning starts. Think about this. Your alarm rings.
You feel exhausted. You press snooze.
It rings again. You drag yourself out of bed and immediately start looking for coffee.
Most people would blame the snooze button.
But that may be missing the bigger problem. The real question is, why are you so exhausted that waking up feels like a daily emergency?
For adults, the CDC says at least 7 hours of sleep per day is recommended, although individual sleep requirements differ. Getting enough sleep supports attention, mood, metabolism, and cardiovascular health, while persistently insufficient sleep is associated with several chronic health problems. So pressing snooze once is not the villain. Consistently cutting your sleep short is the habit worth examining. And here is where morning culture becomes misleading.
People sometimes try to solve chronic tiredness by adding stimulants, colder showers, louder alarms, and increasingly complicated productivity routines.
But none of those things actually create the sleep you did not get. You can temporarily feel more alert.
That is not the same thing as being adequately rested.
A healthier strategy begins by protecting your sleep opportunity consistently, rather than treating exhaustion as evidence that you need a more aggressive morning routine. But suppose you did sleep long enough. There is another signal your brain may be waiting for after you wake up, and it is completely free. That signal is light. But this does not mean staring directly into the sun, buying an expensive lamp, or believing sunlight cures every sleep problem.
The real science is much more interesting.
Because light helps tell your internal biological clock what time of day it is. Imagine waking up in a dark bedroom.
You close the curtains. Get ready under weak artificial lighting. Enter a car.
Then spend several more hours indoors. Your clock says morning, but one of the strongest environmental signals reaching your brain may still be relatively weak.
Light is an important regulator of circadian rhythms.
CDC/NIOSH material explains that morning light can shift the circadian system toward earlier sleep and wake timing, while bright light can also increase alertness. This does not mean everyone needs exactly 10, 20, or 30 minutes outside. That kind of universal prescription ignores individual schedules, seasons, geography, and sleep conditions.
The useful principle is simpler. Do not underestimate normal daytime light exposure.
Open your curtains. Spend reasonable time outdoors when practical.
Allow your environment to look like daytime when your day begins.
But your brain waking up is only half the story.
What happens if your body stays almost completely still? Bed,
Chair. Car.
desk.
For many people, those 4 locations describe several consecutive hours of their morning. Now, here is the mistake health content often makes. It tells you the solution is an extreme workout before breakfast. It isn't.
You do not have to run 5 kilometers at sunrise to benefit from movement.
CDC physical activity guidance emphasizes a much more achievable principle. Adults should move more and sit less, and some moderate to vigorous activity is better than none. A short walk, Taking stairs, household movement, mobility exercises, or simply breaking up prolonged sitting can help turn movement into part of your day. The more important target is your overall physical activity pattern, not proving that you can survive an exhausting morning workout. And notice the pattern developing here.
Good health is rarely about one dramatic action.
It is usually about what you repeatedly do. The same principle becomes even more important when we reach breakfast. Because something can look like breakfast food without automatically making it a healthy choice. And at 5 minutes, we need to expose one of the most misleading labels in morning nutrition. A food can say breakfast, natural, energy, or even look like fitness food. But your body does not read the marketing on the package.
It responds to what is actually inside.
And one number on that nutrition label deserves your attention.
This section needs an important distinction immediately.
Sugar is not automatically poison. And fruit does not suddenly become unhealthy because it contains naturally occurring sugar. The concern is making large amounts of added sugar a routine part of your daily diet.
Consider the combination: sweetened cereal,
Flavored coffee, sweetened yogurt,
a pastry,
then perhaps a soft drink or sweetened juice later in the morning. Individually, each item can look harmless.
Together, they can contribute a substantial amount of added sugar. The American Heart Association recommends limiting added sugars to no more than about 6% of daily calories, and distinguishes added sugars from sugars naturally present in foods.
The critical issue is not one occasional sweet breakfast.
Health effects are shaped far more by repeated dietary patterns. So rather than fearing individual foods, look at the overall pattern.
Are you regularly choosing foods that provide useful nutrients, fiber, or protein?
Or are several heavily sweetened products appearing in your morning every single day?
But food isn't the only area where morning advice becomes exaggerated. Hydration may be one of the biggest examples. You have probably heard something like this. If you don't immediately drink a giant glass of water when you wake up, your metabolism will shut down.
That is an exaggeration.
There is no magical minute after waking when water suddenly develops special properties.
But hydration itself absolutely matters. The CDC notes that getting enough water supports normal body function and helps prevent dehydration.
Fluid needs vary depending on factors including age, activity, environment, and other circumstances. Your morning is simply an opportunity to begin meeting your fluid needs.
Plain water is an excellent option.
You do not require a detox ingredient. You do not need an expensive powder. And you certainly do not need to panic because somebody on social media drinks more water than you. Now, for the habit that catches people completely off guard, because you may have been taught that doing it immediately after breakfast is responsible.
You finish breakfast.
You are running late.
So you rush into the bathroom and immediately brush your teeth.
Good hygiene, right? Usually, brushing is absolutely important.
But if breakfast included acidic foods or drinks, the timing deserves another look. Foods and beverages containing significant acids can contribute to dental erosion. And after acidic exposure, immediately scrubbing your teeth may not be the smartest response.
The American Dental Association advises rinsing with water rather than brushing immediately after acidic beverages, and ADA guidance has recommended allowing time before brushing following acidic exposure.
Now, do not misunderstand this. This is not an argument against brushing.
Regular brushing with fluoride toothpaste remains a fundamental part of oral hygiene.
We are discussing timing after acidic foods and beverages.
That distinction is exactly why health information needs context. A short social media claim might say, "Never brush after breakfast."
That is too simplistic.
The more precise message is to consider what you consumed and avoid immediately brushing after significant acidic exposure.
And now we reach habit 7. Unlike toothbrush timing, this one belongs in an entirely different level of health risk. Some habits on this list are about optimization. This one is not.
If someone's morning routinely begins with tobacco or nicotine exposure, the important question is not whether another time of day would somehow make that exposure healthy. It wouldn't. Nicotine can raise blood pressure, while cigarette smoking damages the heart and blood vessels and increases cardiovascular risk. CDC information links smoking with heart disease, stroke, and multiple other serious health consequences.
This matters because people frequently misunderstand risk.
They spend enormous amounts of energy perfecting tiny wellness behaviors while ignoring much larger health factors. Someone may worry about whether their water contains lemon,
While sleeping 5 hours, they may buy an expensive supplement. While barely moving,
or obsess over the exact time they eat breakfast.
while continuing a behavior with much stronger evidence of harm.
Critical thinking means recognizing that not every health habit deserves equal weight. So if you only changed 2 or 3 things from this entire video, which habits deserve your attention first? This may be the most important part of the video.
Because trying to perfect all 7 habits tomorrow morning is probably unnecessary. Instead, rank them.
Separate major health behaviors from smaller routine optimization. Here is how. At the top of your priority list should be the behaviors with broader implications for long-term health. Protect adequate sleep. Avoid tobacco exposure.
Build regular physical activity into your life. And improve the overall quality of your diet. These are not flashy,
But they matter. Then come useful routine adjustments. Pay attention to hydration. Use normal daytime light to support your sleep-wake rhythm.
and use sensible dental timing around acidic foods. The mistake is spending 90% of your effort on the smallest 10% of the problem.
Health is not a competition to create the world's most complicated morning routine.
In fact, you can reduce this entire video to one simple rule. Before adding another morning hack, ask, does my routine support the basics?
Did you get adequate sleep?
Are you moving? Are you eating reasonably well? Are you meeting your hydration needs? Are you avoiding clearly harmful exposures? If those foundations are weak, fix the foundations before chasing tiny optimizations.
Your morning matters.
But here's the twist. A healthier morning often begins the night before. Your bedtime, evening screen habits, late eating patterns, and sleep environment can determine how tomorrow starts before your alarm ever rings.
So watch the next video, 7 night habits that can affect your health. And subscribe to All Health Code for evidence-based health information without the hype. Because better health does not require a perfect routine.
It requires better decisions repeated consistently.